Guys, man, Semen Piso back once again with yet another video. Today, of course, it is the 1st of August, man. August 2025. It's nuts. If time were like butter, right? I guess the perception of it by the collective consciousness of the world is like a super hot frying pan just melting time away. Dead serious. I swear, it felt like yesterday it was July, which literally it was. But no, I felt like it was the 1st of July yesterday. It's kind of strange, man, but I feel like time is speeding up. It feels like it, definitely. Where we're headed, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. A year from now, maybe I'll have a better answer. Maybe not. Anyway, like I said, it is time for Pisos, perceptions, the Piso, right? So we're getting right back in effect. We have a lot of things to talk about. A lot, man, a lot. A lot. Nothing really happened in July. Really, nothing really happened, to be honest. But of course, like, okay, anyway, let me just sort of restructure everything or put everything into like an organized format. So for the people that are new to the Pisos Perceptions, usually we do a monthly check-in of my mental health, semen retention journey, plans for the channel, updates on interpersonal and intimate relationships, and whatever I feel like talking about. Maybe I'm going to espouse some philosophies, some personal philosophies that I've gleaned perhaps from observation from life, that I always have done for the past 33 years of my life, right? Or at least from when I started becoming sentient in this place, and, you know, using my memory and all that kind of stuff. So guys, stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to get into it right now, right? So we're going to begin. I like coming here, by the way. I'm going to begin with talking about this. We're currently at Coney Island, well, Brighton Beach, because Coney Island is a little farther that way. And I like coming here, especially on days like today, where it's warm, not too many people out. Not that I have any problem with crowds anyway, but it's just a very calm place. It helps me it puts my mind at ease, to be honest. And yeah, that's about it. It's very, very simple, very, very simple. So anyway, let's talk about the first thing that we usually talk about in Pisos Perception, employment, right? It's never a Pisos Perception unless we talk about employment. So let's talk about employment, right? So we're still at the Georgian restaurant, you know, Georgia as in like the country Georgia in Eastern Europe, not Atlanta, Georgia, or that silly state in the silly United States. We've been doing pretty well. Maglaba, we learn, you know, we've been picking up a lot of the language. What is it? Bodishi, which is like, excuse me. Like, can I have something to drink or something like that? But anyway, yeah, I've been learning a lot of Georgia naturally being in that environment. And we've been doing pretty well with that. Restaurant week started, I believe, 2 weeks ago. Right, so we've been super busy. I've been making a lot of money. I've been doing pretty well. So employment is good on that front. And I'm also trying to do something else. And so once we get more updates on that, I think I'm at the final stages of that something else, by the way. So once that's more solidified and confirmed, I'll be able to give you guys a better update on that. But all in all, employment is going very well. All things considered, I think employment is going very well. I don't think I'm having any issues with money. In fact, employment is going so well that I'm actually thinking about planning another trip. That's right, Semen Piso is going to be traveling again. Man, no mamas. We already did the Albania, Kosovo, right? We already did Serbia, Hungary, Bosnia, Montenegro, Romania, and I think that's it, right? Yeah. And Barcelona. And Austria. And Clon. We already did a lot of traveling this year, and we are not done. Where are we gonna go? We just need, first of all, a little bit more confirmation on the employment to come, and a little bit of negotiation. And if negotiations go sour, then a little bit of assertiveness, right? We are gonna head to Georgia, my friend. We are planning on going to Georgia, Armenia. I'm gonna see if I can do. Turkey's a little too far, actually. Well, that's a little too far, so we're not going to do Turkey. I was looking at the map. It's a little too far. We're going to head to Georgia. Georgia has an amazing cuisine. I already know this because I work at the restaurant and everything where I'm around this cuisine every single day. It has very, very good food. I was looking up a lot of restaurants in the country. I was looking up places to go. Georgia, of course, is south of South Russia. I would have loved to go to Russia, but we can't do that. We need a visa and everything. It requires a lot of planning, and so on and so forth. I think that I should go to a Russian consulate just to elucidate what exactly is needed to go to Russia, because that will be uncharted territory for me for sure. Going into a sanctioned country, I think that's nuts. And we wouldn't, if we were to go to Russia, because we'll spend majority of the time in Georgia, we're not going to like Moscow or St. Petersburg, which is farther up north from Georgia. We'd be going to like one of their other cities, and that would be kind of nuts. But we're going to see what happens. You guys are going to find out by the next Pisos Perceptions for sure. We are going to figure out whether we're going to be even doing this Georgia trip in the first place, because we still need to negotiate and assert ourselves in front of two employment panels, basically the owners of both places. And we need to get the visa and whatnot to go to Russia. So that'll be a thing and a half. But anyway, like I said, employment's going very well. So well, in fact, that we're planning on another trip. So that's that with employment. Let's talk about semen retention, right? I don't even like bringing this up anymore because it's gotten so redundant at this point. Dead serious. Semen retention is just easy. I'm not even kidding. I think I'm about 3 or 4 months right now. Semen retention is not a problem. It is not something that I'm constantly thinking about because it's not important to me. It is a baseline. Once upon a time, I've held it in high regard, right? You have to save your seed, you have to retain, so on and so forth. But things are happening so frequently and so consistently in life, like just the things I need to do, things for the channel, things for, I have my own apartment now in this goddamn New York City. So I got to take care of that. Then I got work. Then I have other things that I want to plan doing. I don't have time to really put semen retention on the forefront, even though it's the baseline of all my actions. I am sincerely on the practice. 4 months, 3 months. I've been feeling good. I've been doing very, very well at the gym. I'm going to give you guys, there's so many things that's just been happening. There's just so many things to talk about that's been happening recently. Especially, of course, it's a spill off of the energy that is produced by semen retention. But it happens so often that I just don't feel like talking about it. It's just not even anything special or anything outside of the ordinary, because my ordinary now is on being on semen retention. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about, what happened at the gym recently, which is due to a spill-off of the energy of semen retention. So we had, I'm just a simple guy. I go 4 to 5 times a week to the gym. I cook a lot at the gym. When I get back home after the gym. And I'm just very, very simple. I follow a routine. I probably modify it a little bit. But, for the most part, I'm not trying to do like crazy numbers at the gym in regard to weight. So I was doing deadlifts, right? What I usually do is 4 sets of deadlifts, 4 to 5. I start off with 225 for 10 to 12 reps, and then 315 for 8 reps to 10 reps. And then maybe, that's about it, right? So I was at the gym doing my deadlifts. We had a guy that came out of nowhere. He's like, 4 plates, which is like, if you guys don't know, it's at 90. That's like 405, right? Yeah, 405. That's nothing to me, by the way. That's not hard at all. I just don't do it because I like to be consistent, really, with the weight that I lift. So I just did it for him. I was like, you know what? I'll do it. Just in that, I responded to him in a very calm way, right? I said, of course I'll do it for you, sure. So, I'm slowly putting on the weights. He comes over, he puts on another plate. Him and his workout buddies came to watch, and I just did 2 to 3 reps. By the way, immediately after, I just hit an 8 rep 315. Simple stuff. This means nothing. It all means nothing. It really doesn't bring me any true fulfillment. Not only proving to this guy that I could do that, but just doing it in general. He was so impressed. He was like, wow, oh my goodness. And I said, I could do it. That's not the problem. The thing is, I just don't want to do it. So anyway, that's just one spill off of the energy produced by semen retention, and there's a lot of other things that's been happening too. Like we've been meeting a lot of various people, we've been having a lot of interesting conversations, we've been getting a lot of different effects or responses from women, which I'm just not interested in really right now because I'm just on something else. I'm serious, guys. It's just I don't know. I'm really not thinking about anything. And I think that perhaps that this is a spill off from the energy of semen retention for sure, because I just have a lot of different interests now. I'm just not thinking about semen retention for semen retention's sake, or having a woman around just to have companionship. Like it's just that's not what I'm interested in, really. I'm just interested in finding out what's next in my life. There's a lot of things I have planned. There's a lot of seeds that I've dug, I've planted, and so I just want to see them come to fruition. So that's really what it is with semen retention. My brain power has been up. I've been doing math very, very quickly, as per usual. This is a little deep, but I've been splitting up time, or my calculation of time, into quadrants. I don't know. That's definitely semen retention, perhaps. It's just that this is just a natural evolution from how I used to view math and things and whatnot. I've been writing a lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff. This is probably from semen retention for sure, because I wasn't doing this naturally before I was celibate. I'm not even going to be. I mean, I had like some inclinations toward it, but now it comes up very, very naturally. I'm doing like mental math and a lot of breaking down of time, and it's very, and attaching that to meaning and trying to relate moments. And I've been retaining a lot of memories of what's been going on, a lot of the small events that happen in very, very highly charged, high energy environments. That's definitely semen retention. That is. But I just don't care about it because it just happens so reflexively. So it just doesn't, it matters, but not really. So that's semen retention for you guys. And honestly, I have no plans on getting off of it anytime soon. To be honest, I'm just gonna be very, very honest with you guys in regard to that. I'm not interested in adult film content at all because it's just a waste of energy, a waste of time, and a waste of the production of dopamine that can go towards many, many other things. I'm not interested in just random hookups because it's a waste of time, a waste of energy, and a waste of focus that could be used on other things. I'm not interested in prostitutes, sex workers. Haven't been interested in that for a while because it's a waste of time, a waste of energy, and definitely a muddling and a distortion of your karmic destiny. And I am not interested in trying for 5 minutes of pleasure, having had to go through 5 months or more of a complete restructure of my karmic destiny. I'm not interested in that. If you guys need to see things that way, or you need to sort of learn how to see things that way, I will show you, dead serious. I will help you. Ask me questions and I'll give you the explanation. You do not want to muddle your karmic destiny. That is semen retention all in all, right? That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's talk about intimate and interpersonal relationships. Let's talk about that. I think in the last month, right, July, I've been definitely cultivating a lot of the interpersonal relationships that I do have. We've been going out, hanging out. I've been listening to them speak. I've been speaking, giving opinions, so on and so forth. It seems like, I don't know, maybe it's a spill off of semen retention because, with semen retention, there's the aura field that you produce that becomes more and more and more dense. By the way, I think that's the only compounding effect that it can be perceived through semen retention. So the environment is indirectly affected. And so there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of things that don't happen. And so there seems to have been a very mundane thing, or a mundane effect that's been in my space. I've been enjoying my time for sure, especially hanging out with old friends, because I ran into a lot of old friends that I knew from the past. A lot of people I used to hang out with, and I've been organizing hangouts, so on and so forth. So it's been fun, but it seems like there's just been like this I don't know, this proliferation of this mundane effect. I don't know, this droll effect. I don't know. I'm enjoying myself. I'm perceiving the environment and trying to objectively explain it. And this is what I'm coming up with, right? So that's that with interpersonal relationships. Intimate relationships, they don't exist. And like I said, in regard to semen retention, I'm not interested in starting some intimate relationship with individuals that are not self-actualized. And so that will poison my karmic destiny. And so it'll take me months to recover. I am good. I'm done with that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm not interested. Guys, I'm telling you, sure, the orgasm is great, right? It feels good. But you need to understand that if you are messing with the wrong individuals, the wrong females, your energy is going to be distorted. Your auric field is going to be poisoned, and it's going to take a very, very long time for penance and reconciliation. I'm telling you, especially with the self. And then you have to catch up to your own destiny. Like, come on. I'm not down with that. I'm just not interested. Seriously. So there hasn't been intimate relationships. To be honest, for this month, we've been getting tempted for sure. There's been a lot of situations, women giving me their numbers at work. We had or another woman trying to hang out with me after work. We had a woman that we met in a supermarket. We had another woman that we met at work. And and then we met someone around here, actually, this Georgian woman, which is kind of interesting since I'm all caught up in the culture now. But I just gave it some deep thought and then just decided not to go along with it because of the aforementioned reasons. It's not going to mean anything. It's not going to be very, very fulfilling. And there's no long term in it. So why am I going to do it? Like, why am I going to get involved? And so I just sort of walked away from literally every single one of those situations. Literally walked away. And I'm using the word literally, not in the liberal sense that a lot of people are using it. Like, literally, I don't like him, right? It's literally I walked away. As in, I listened to the conversation and walked the other way. Because I just know that it's not going to produce any benefit to my life whatsoever, only detriments. And so there has been a lack of intimate relationships. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm highly charged with this energy of semen retention. And so women are beautiful. They are. You could walk up and down here. It's Friday. So if it gets warmer tonight, which it probably will, probably won't, but regardless, it's going to be Friday night, you're going to see a lot of beautiful women walking up and down this blasted boardwalk. You're going to go somewhere else in New York, you're going to see a lot of beautiful women walking around there. I am working later today, so I'm going to see a lot of beautiful women at work. But it doesn't matter because I am very aware of metaphysical penalty, and I'm not very fond of reconciliation or penance, especially at this time. Dead serious. I'm not. I have things to do. I need to look at the horizon. I need things to obtain. I'm not interested in little intimate relationships that actually bring nothing from unself-actualized individuals. And if there's one thing that I need you guys to take from this video, it's that. Please, you guys, I have a lot of people, we're going to go back to the semen retention thing a little bit because it has a lot to do with that. We have a lot of individuals coming into the live stream saying, you got to retain, you got to do this. Oh, it's all about retention. And that is important. Absolutely. It is of the paramount importance. But we also have a lot of people that are fighting with themselves in regard to semen retention. I can't do this. It's hard. I'm tempted by this. I don't know how you don't watch adult film content. There needs to be a level of understanding. In here, there's Buddhism, right? I'm going around in circles, but follow me, please. So in Buddhism, there are various levels of the mind, right? They call it dimensions, but obviously all of these things are metaphorical because there's no such thing as a lot of the Asuras and Devas that exist in reality. That just doesn't exist. So a lot of what Buddhism explains are various dimensions, which are various levels of thought. And some of us start out at various levels, right, when we live our lives. We need to advance. That's the whole idea. We need to ascend. And to ascend to those levels, we need to go through some sort of trial. We need to go through some sort of tribulation. We need to go through some sort of responsibility. And so when you get to those levels, you pass those tests, you pass those exams, as you will, you get to a higher point of consciousness and you're able to look down at where you used to be at and not entertain any of those points of view anymore. And that's the same thing with semen retention. You need to raise your consciousness, and semen retention alone is not going to help you do this. It is only just something that you need to have mastered baseline in order to see the other things that need to be triumphed in life, objective reality. That's really it. To do this, right, to triumph over these personal problems that people are having with semen retention, one needs to go through various tests and under true deep understanding about what's really going on, right, with the vehicles and the machinations that are proliferated in this world to keep you in a perpetual state of stagnancy. Seriously, how do you do this? What is adult film content? Break it down. What is the next hookup that you are planning to do because it's Friday or it's a weekend and she's beautiful and she's offered herself to you? What is it? Look at it deeply. Look at it from a metaphysical root. Will it actually help you? Are you guys actually compatible? Are you going to this woman, right, or trying to have fun with this woman out of a lack or a need to satiate your loneliness for 5 minutes? Look at all of this very, very closely and deeply. I'm only saying this with passion because I've entertained those same thoughts, except I didn't have guidance like this. Please, you guys need to think. You guys need to think. You need to ponder. You need to ruminate. You need to be pensive about these things. Because if you are going into these things with the wrong reason, you will never ascend and you will be in a perpetual loop. And then you're going to keep going on semen retention. You're going to keep starting the practice over and over again. And you're going to keep having problems. I am literally at a point. No, I can't say that. I just used it literally. I'm virtually at a point where I'm not even entertaining adult film content or random hookups because I've done the work to ascend, and now I'm just not bothered by the things that would usually drag people back down in the loops of relapsing on semen retention. And so to tie it back to this current chapter of the Pisos perception, which is intimate relationships, I'm just not interested in having any willy-nilly intimate relationships because it just doesn't serve me well at all. It doesn't. It's just a detriment. And please, it will do you well for you guys to look at it the same way. So let's move on from this because we have elaborated so much on that already. So let's talk about mental health, right? Let's talk about mental health. My mental health has been stellar. I'm not going to lie. There have been some low points, only because, every now and then I think about the relationship that's just transpired with me. But I'm thinking about it from a completely different angle. I realize, honestly, that I have a lot of strengths. And my personality is incredibly magnanimous and expansive and very complex and layered and powerful. I've done a lot of appraisal of a lot of the things that I've done recently. Like the whole idea of an American, right? Going to Eastern Europe by himself, renting a car, going in the side roads, stopping off at small restaurants, eating food like I belong with them. with no ties to any secret societies, no ties to any American government, absolutely not, right? Just only a sovereignty. Only ties to myself. I think that's nuts, and I think that a lot of people, more than the majority of people in this world, would not ever undertake a task like that or an activity like that. And I think that I needed to give myself a lot of credit for that. And part of why my mental health is a lot more stellar now is because I've come to understand a lot of the power that I have as a personal individual. First of all, we're gonna do a little bit of sycophant work right now. Sycophant is a word that means brown nosing, right? I'm not gonna say the other one because I'm not someone that uses curse words a lot or often or at all in that case. So like the Georgian restaurant job, we got hired on the spot, by the way. We got hired on the spot. Why did we get hired on the spot? We knew about the cuisine beforehand. We dated this girl from Georgia, which for a while ago when I was in college. And we just understood a little bit about the cuisine. What happened after 2 months of working at the Georgian restaurant? We've memorized all of the varietals, the wine varietals. from Georgia, native to Georgia. We've mastered selling, a lot of the foods that we sell, the breaking down of the plates, the dishes, right? We're able to explain the Georgian culture to someone that's from the Georgia state. Right? We learned some Georgian. We actually know some Russian. We're able to communicate a lot of experiences with people. We just do this. That's just natural, by the way. This doesn't require any effort on my end. And I sort of put that on the sidelines, or I don't stress a lot of importance on that because it comes natural to me. And to a lot of people, it doesn't. People would take months and months and months to try to understand speaking another language, right? And let alone explaining a lot of the dishes from another culture to someone that has no ties to the culture. That's number one. Number two, I do understand, I know a lot of languages as well. That is natural to me, and I don't, what do you call it? I don't broadcast it a lot because of that very reason. And I forget that, right? There's a lot of strengths. I'm at the gym. We do a lot of work at the gym. I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, and I don't feel any pain. I don't feel any stamina loss or anything. This is just natural, and so I don't ponder about this. And I've been thinking about this very, very actively recently, which has been lending to a strengthening and a fortification of my mental health, because I realize that I'm really more powerful than a lot of these guys. These guys, I'm telling you, and I think that if you guys did the same self-appraisal, you would understand, you'll come to this conclusion as well. I think I'm very, very powerful. I'm very, very strong. Dead serious. A lot of these guys ain't doing this. Even going on the practice of semen retention for some idea of a reward very, very far along the line. People are not doing this. People are not doing this, right? Constantly doing self-reflection, which I do a lot, People are not doing this. And so I've thought about all of this recently and realized that I'm a very, very powerful individual, much stronger than a lot of these guys, which is why a lot of the times, when I was, traveling, I've been alone. I've been by myself. I've met a lot of people, but for the most part, I travel by myself because it's just, I have a lot of strengths, man. I had a lot of power. My energy really affects people on different levels, and people feel this, and they understand, oh, this guy is something else. And so they make their decisions based on their very, very small number of experiences, right? Which keep them in their lower state, their basis states. All in all, mental health has been very, wow, my voice is echoing. I just heard my voice echo from that building. All in all, man, I think that my mental health has been solid. I've been doing a lot of walks recently. It's Friday, so there's a bar that I like to go to. By the way, I don't drink. You guys know this. I go to the bar really just to drink sparkling water, which is somehow more expensive than beer. But that's neither here or there. But that's what I plan on doing tonight. Going to a bar and drinking sparkling water, sitting outside and just ruminating, writing things down, making inferences, breaking down time as I've been doing recently on a very, very based level. It's just, and these are very, 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 very comforting for my mental health. Also, it's just the walks really, and just going to random places and just seeing how the environment operates there. That's really what I've been doing to help with my mental health. I'm not gonna lie, there are some mornings I do wake up. It is a little solo in the crib. It's a little lonely, but as soon as I get off the bed and I brush my teeth, things just change. A 360 of my belief or my feelings happen and occur. I'm not perturbed at all by this place at all. And you know what? I haven't been bad mouthing semen retention, but I think that this very, very staunch view and stance on semen retention has yielded this belief. Honestly, right? So there's a lot that can be said about that, and I feel proud of how far I've come. Honestly. And just to give you guys a lesson, let's not make it all about me, even though it's the Pisos perceptions of Sombra del Piso. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a message too. You might be around individuals that may have wealth to some degree or may have some sort of outward success, but I'm telling you, most of the time, these guys are not any more powerful than you. The fact that you are constantly doing self-reflection and doing self-work, self-cultivation, fortification of your mind through discipline, going through the motions, it places you on a completely different category than these guys. These guys will probably never achieve this, not even in 3 lifetimes. And you're doing it now. So please when you're sort of at a limbo about where you stand in regard to the world, maybe you're not getting the attention you feel you deserve or the responses that you feel you deserve, understand that you are strong. You are powerful, more powerful than a lot of these guys. Dead serious, you are. You're undertaking the practice of semen retention. You're doing a lot of disciplines with yourself. You're doing a lot of self-reflection. Yeah, it puts you at a completely different plateau than a lot of these guys. A completely different level. So believe that, guys, and I believe in you. So that's what I have to say about mental health. What else? Plans for the channel? How long have this been going? Wow. So plans for the channel. We've been doing a lot of live streams. We're gonna do a lot more live streams just because they've been fun. It's nice to talk to you guys. We've been getting a lot of trolls recently in the live streams, naturally so. Just because I don't only talk about semen retention, right, and sexual discipline, I also talk about geopolitics and my views on that. And we've been getting a lot of interesting feedback. Of course, we have this argument, right? Not an argument, but there was this small discussion about, Eastern Europe and so on and so forth, and Western Europe, Central Europe. And, it's just been fun to engage in that kind of conversation. And so, we're going to probably be doing more live streams. I haven't written an article in a very long time. I've just been writing a lot, and it's just been a stream of consciousness. That's really what it is. I'm going to start writing a lot more for the Patreon. You guys need to join the Patreon, please. I've been advertising it a lot, but we have to do things a different way, because if something doesn't work, then we'll have to try things a different way. That's honestly what we're going to do. So we also have more video content coming for the Patreon as well, which are going to be a bit more in-depth discussions about things that we can't really talk about on YouTube, as you guys know. So join the goddamn Patreon. The link is going to be in the description below. Stop playing, guys. Stop playing. Seriously. Any parting philosophies that I could leave with you guys? The world, I'm telling you, we have a lot of philosophers that describe the world or speak about it on a very surface level. Oh, these people respond like this and this and that. And that has nothing, it has something to do with things, but it doesn't make up a majority or even a significant part of what's really going on. The idea basically is just an exchange of energy. When you are on the practice of semen retention, when you are doing a lot of these disciplines, you are saving and honing your strength and energy. And so when you do it for a long period of time, this becomes your baseline, and then you realize that your reality changes completely. A lot of people are not going to understand you on an energetic level. And this has a lot to do with the interaction of races, if you want to really think about it. Really. Because we all could do the same things, essentially. It's just that a lot of us, our vessels carry a bit more energy than others. And so we all have antennas as well, and we pick up on those energies, and some of that energy makes us feel uncomfortable, and then we respond unconsciously because of that. That's really what it is. That's the history of the world. World 101. And so we are in a new level now. We are in a new, dimension of understanding, especially with people that are tuned into this channel. And so we need to understand really our place in all this. It is not just a simple, I'm going to be licentious, I'm going to sleep with everyone, and think that you could also still have a deep understanding of your environment and also a deep navigation of your environment. That's not going to happen, right? The ebbs and flows of the great will of the Creator is going to carry you wherever it wants to carry you. And you have no control over that. You have to live with that. The more we hone our energy, right, the more we are on this practice of semen retention, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to have an understanding and a navigation like no other. I can attest to this because I think, honestly, right now, I'm not speaking any mumbo jumbo crazy talk. I really think that I'm in a place where I'm not supposed to be right now. Not literally in Brighton Beach. I'm not supposed to be here. But I think that I'm in a place in life that I'm not supposed to be in. Right? A lot of things happened fast in the last 3 months. And, I couldn't imagine this. It went in Serbia when we were in Eastern Europe. If you asked me if I would be at this point, then I would tell you what? Absolutely not. There's no way, right? I'm just not interested in that. Why would I be there? And then I'm here, right? Because the conditions in my body have been changed, have been altered due to my retention of energy. And that's all it is. That's really all it is. All the surface level stuff, I could play with it because it's fun. It's nice to talk about, what do these guys talk about? Justin Bieber and Jojo Siwa and the baby. But more importantly, I'm very, very interested in the current sentiments of Justin Bieber. Why is he so depressed now, right? What is the energetic basis of that? Why are people lacking in patriotism in the United States? I could answer that. But, what is the energetic, the metaphysical meaning behind that stuff? And so that's really what it is. I think you guys need to look at things at a much deeper level than you guys have been looking at them, because that's the only thing that's important in this reality. And so I'm going to leave you guys with that. And that is going to be the end, really, of this episode's Pisos, Perceptions, the Pisos, right? Guys, don't ever let this place get you down. I'm telling you, don't ever let this place get you down. This place is really, it's just a seedbed of ideologies, because plural, there's so many of them, right? It's just a place of just a lot of rampant energies, right? This place is going to try to take you off of your point a lot. It's going to try to dissuade you from a lot of your personal beliefs, your personal disciplines. You'll be sent things, you'll be sent visions, seriously. Even your dreams betray you. Dead serious. You think that those dreams have meaning, but in reality, they don't really have much meaning other than trying to put you in line with a fate in order to have everything run the correct way. Correct way, I put that in quotation marks. You guys need to understand that your conviction, your discipline, your sexual discipline makes and breaks everything. Seriously. And it needs to be put on baseline, because you need to understand, you need to use that energy that you are harboring and cultivating from semen retention and your personal practices in order to perceive what the heck is really going on in your world and in your space. That is it. Seriously. Stay radiant, my friends. Seriously, always stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.